Hi, Nick Compass, Director of Instruction at Santa Ana Country Club. One of the things I see students struggle with is going from irons, balls on the ground, to driver, being up on the tee, and making those adjustments in their swing to get that club to come in the correct way. So probably one of the biggest things we see kind of struggling with people with driver and not hitting it that well is when they're coming down, they're tending to come more down on top of it. And you can see here when I do this, how high or level my shoulders are and how high this right one is coming down on that. And you can see a couple things that are going to happen. One is kind of de-lofting that club shaft. So I've got shaft lean, which for a driver I don't want. And two, even when I get it up this high here, I get that shoulder up this way. Look how high the club head is when I hit it on the bottom. So it's going to lead to low hit on the face, de-lofting of the club, driving it in real low, just not going to have much height or launch to it, and it's going to be hard to get much distance, let alone hitting it solid. So one of the things, and I'm going to put a couple pictures up here, first one of Tommy Fleetwood, and you're going to see how at impact with the driver on this face-on angle that he's got, you're going to see this right shoulder and this tilt that he has with his shoulders and this right shoulder working under. Now, is there some of that with an iron? Yes, there is, but I've got more with a driver, okay? So one of the ways, one of my favorite drills to kind of help feel this is, again, if I could kind of I'm going to put my left hand on the club right here. I'm going to put my right hand here. And I'm basically saying, hey, I've got to feel like my right hand, if I was holding the ball, that I've got to go underneath this left arm, okay? So it's kind of doing two things. One, if I go back, you can see obviously this right shoulder's got to stay under so I can allow this to toss this ball. And again, I almost want to think of me tossing this golf ball where it's got to go under the left arm, and then I'm almost letting it toss up, and you can see how that right shoulder works under. Now, sometimes people struggle with this and they see this, they go, okay, I got to keep my right shoulder back, and they'll tend to do this. Well, the nice part with this drill is because I'm holding this left hand here and it's staying steady, that's keeping me a little bit more centered. So now from here, as this works under, you can see this stays, goes back a little bit, but you can see how this is going to work under and up through. And if I did that this way, you can see how this right shoulder, and again, I'm kind of looking in my shadow right here, and I can see the tilt in my shoulders when I come through and where I want to be at impact. So again, we want to kind of feel when we're swinging, as I make a backswing, that as I'm coming down here, hey, I'm feeling like this right arm and this right shoulder, hey, they're working more under and up through the shot. So it kind of goes down a little bit, levels out, and then works up a little bit. Again, the last thing I want with this right shoulder is for it to stay high. When it stays high, you can see how bad this club is coming down into the golf ball. And again, just if we don't even think about swing mechanics, we just think about, hey, does that make any sense for me coming to do that? If you think about somebody hitting a baseball off a tee, if that tee was here, and I get this club came, what's going to happen? Well, I'm going to hit all tee, aren't I? I'm not going to hit the golf ball at all. So again, with this ball on the ground, I've got to feel like, hey, as I swing down, I'm going to allow this to work, this right shoulder and right side to work under and up through the shot. When I do this drill again, it does kind of two things. One, it's helping me stay a little bit more inside. You can see how this right arm staying close to my body. Obviously, it's not going to go out here and hit the club. And then the second part is getting this to level out or feel like I'm swinging level to up on it a little bit and getting that attack angle to be a positive attack angle versus that negative attack angle going into the golf ball. So I really like that drill. It's a great feel. It's a great feel for me to get here and then say, okay, here I'm pretending like I'm holding that right there and feeling like it's going under. There's that. Underneath that to get that body in that good impact position. Okay? So I'll put a couple pictures up here of some face-on views where you can see how that body's tilted, and also the Tommy Fleetwood. The Tommy Fleetwood's probably a little bit exaggerated, but again, he's somebody that typically hits a draw. He comes maybe a little bit more from the inside, which would be great for most of us that slice the ball or tend to miss it right or don't have that much hit on a driver and want some more distance. Most of us struggle with that slice, so we want to get that ball coming in there a little bit more under. If I can get it coming under there a little bit better, that's going to help us level out, come a little more from the inside, and get the right contact with that ball on the tee versus coming down. And if you do that, that drive will be better.